What?
You could start dancing again.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's just real bright in my face. That made it worse.
I don't know,
Need
man.
need a miniature umbrella for this thing.
Check.
1, 2.
It's Run the Jewels instrumental playing, by the way.
Sick.
You started doing that right when there was like a pause in the music.
I don't need to hear Run the Jewels to know Run the Jewels.
It
God
doesn't
damn.
actually doesn't matter because our faces aren't on the screen yet.
Oh shit, Mark Money is live in the new joint.
It still says that?
Yeah.
Live in the new joint?
Yeah. Every single time.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Update incoming. Oh boy. Oh.
There we are.
Neato. Oh.
Yeah, we're live now.
Hey. All right. Welcome to the party.
Hey now.
How you doing?
Uh,
My name's Mike.
oh yeah, my name's Mark, and that was
Oh.
the lamest intro ever.
Ah!
Take 2.
I was gonna say my name's Buck, and I liked it well. You know.
My name's Buck, and I came here to fuck.
Oh man, terrible.
We came here to talk about
Kick
video
ass and chew bubble gum. Oh, and a bubble gum.
Yeah, that dumb bullshit.
Dumb bullshit. Duke Nukem, man. Come on.
Yeah, I know.
You want to talk about video games?
I never played it.
There's your guy.
I never played it.
I hear he's heart forever. Yeah.
What was the first one? On computer? PC?
Yeah, they were all in. And then came over to, like, what, PlayStation and stuff after that?
Yeah, never played one Duke Nukem game.
No.
No.
I played the new one that they were the Duke Nukem Forever. I played that for like, the whole 10 minutes it's entertaining for. And then
Which one?
was it the new one
Oh,
that got stuck in development hell forever? That was forever, right?
yeah.
Duke Nukem Forever. Yeah.
Oh, no, it was in
like-
development hell forever.
Yeah. But,
I'm just, yeah.
yes. I think you're so goddamn smart. Huh?
I mean, so it says here that Duke Nukem created. Oh boy,
Oh boy.
1991 for MS-DOS, Windows, and OS 10. No. Oh, these are the platforms that it's on. So they're just.
Oh, now?
Yeah. So MS-DOS, then Windows. Oh, so MS-DOS in 91, Windows in 2012. OS 10 in 2013. So there's Duke Nukem 2, Duke Nukem 3D, and then Duke Nukem Forever. In 2011 for Windows, OS 10, PS3, and Xbox 360.
Forever.
So which one did you play? Duke Nukem Forever?
Yeah. I
And
played that like 10 minutes of it. Like I said, that's, it's fun cheese, I guess. It's a good throwback to the older stuff, but short of that, it wasn't great.
I have no frame of reference whatsoever for Duke Nukem, but what I do know is that this is the test run of what might become a recurring show here on Twitch.
Gazinga.
How do you like that transition? Huh?
Oh,
That's a
all right. That's fantastic.
that's pro
So
gamer
smooth.
segue.
Pro gamer segue.
Yeah, 360 no scope.
Oh, smooth transitions.
Right, exactly. Like you didn't even see it coming.
That's right. Just like a random knife throw from the sky, you never saw it coming.
You know, like the backflip off the first hit in Rocket League when
Mm,
yeah,
just right out the gate.
just boop
Just
it
giving
right
it
in the
all you
goal.
got.
Yeah, I'll never not do that.
Gotta try every time.
There's a game that kind of took everybody by surprise.
Rocket League?
Yeah,
I was definitely surprised.
I
I can
downloaded
say
it
that.
for free on PlayStation Network. Like, oh, it's free. I'll try it.
Nice.
I'll try this game.
I'll try this free thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a very, very dedicated following to that game. If you go on the subreddit, it's just all clips of people who are nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that championship that they had today?
Was it RLCS or whatever?
Yeah.
Rocket League Championship Series, I believe.
Is that what it is?
You got to ask. Uh,
Ask the internet.
no. I was going to say ask Mystery.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, RLCS is Rocket League Esports.
Right.
Saturday, September 28th. Oh, so that's old.
Oh, was it a rerun?
Maybe.
Because I'm so up to date on these things.
And maybe it was a different Rocket League tournament.
Could have been. Not the Rocket League Championship Series.
What are we calling this thing? We calling it anything?
Podcast?
Yeah, is it just the
It's a
podcast?
it's a podcast.
Let's just call it
Unless,
the show you're
unless you
about to
wanna
hear.
the show you're listening to.
That's actually a deep cut from my favorite movie ever, That Thing You Do, written by, directed by, and co-starring Tom Hanks.
Son of a bitch. I knew you would fucking say that.
Yeah, well,
Goddamn Tom Hanks.
holy shit, look what just happened.
What's that?
Pop That Baby Maker subscribed at tier 1.
Oh shit.
He's been subscribed for 8 months now.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Really keeping it down,
You know,
huh?
we're really not supposed to react to the chat at all.
Oh, right, right. Mhm.
But how do you not? I'm ready to invite him to this video call.
Oh man.
Say the word and you can get in on this right now. We're on Discord, Pop. I
Let's do it.
have to give you permission to the no, I'm drinking. That sounds like yes. I'm
That
drinking.
sounds like all the more reason.
All right, you could comment from the sidelines. We were talking about Rocket League and the phenomena that was.
Phenomenon.
Lulz.
Dun, 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 dun. Phenomenon.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't play it that much anymore.
No, me neither. And it's really a shame because I really still get a kick out of all the stuff that I watch. Like watching people that are really good at that game, just like I guess all the other games, but
Yeah.
watching somebody that's really good at it, it's like
Totally.
makes me wish I had a car with rockets on it.
So apparently there's Stranger Things DLC for Rocket League.
Stranger Things.
What? You know what? Not unlike Duke Nukem, I've never watched one episode of Stranger Things.
That one I have spent a little more time with.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I watched all of them.
every single one.
I've seen all the episodes. Yeah. Yep.
Damn,
It
I haven't.
probably helps that my kid's obsessed with it. So when the new season came out, he was like, "We gotta watch it."
Oh, I haven't even seen all the episodes of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Really?
We've been watching that show. It's pretty funny.
Nice.
Yeah, Pop. That's what I was just talking about. How I got that game for free too. He says it's crazy how they're still updating it years later, when it was just a free PSN game.
Right?
Um,
Oh man. You ever go back and check on Disc Jam?
you know what? I see it all the time, and I'm like,
I was just thinking about that the other day.
it's a fun game. I
It
like it.
is.
But I got Windjammers for PS Vita, and it's like
Yep.
the same thing, but way cooler.
Right.
It's like 16-bit. Sunshine Lady, hey, how you doing? Welcome back. Long time no speaky. That makes sense. Fortnite money.
Fortnite
Oh, they got bought by
all
Epic. I
night.
see. I see. They got bought by Epic.
Mm.
What do you think of this new Star Wars game that everybody's talking about? Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh,
It's like very Dark Souls style gameplay, really hard to get through, but very satisfying combat. Like it, everybody's saying great things about it.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, they since Star Wars games have started, they definitely have been looking to try and like get really good lightsaber feel and everything. So
Mm-hmm.
to try and bring good lightsaber feel into a Dark Souls style, like hard combat kind of game could be kind of cool.
I
But
did hear that one of the guys from Kind of Funny was saying that it felt like the lightsaber battle was like you weren't using a lightsaber, you were using a stick. But I think
right,
that was just because he was maybe fighting something that was way too OP for that stage of the game. So
right,
I don't know. I'm always it's just one more thing, one part of the culture that I've not been a part of. I've seen bits and pieces of lots of Star Wars movies, but never
yep,
sat down and watched them all. I'm not up on the lore, so I want to play this game, and it really makes me want to, because they're right up my alley, those types of movies, but just never committed.
yep.
Star Wars games on Super Nintendo, very challenging, but also
Mm.
rewarding. So maybe they took a hint from there. Jinjo, hey, how's it going? Thanks for the host. I appreciate that.
Throwing it back to the Super Nintendo difficulty.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Just bring on the brutal.
and they speaking of Super Nintendo, they what do you think of that? They re-released Aladdin and Lion King on
Yeah, I
like
saw that.
Switch and stuff, and yeah, just newer
Yeah,
newer consoles.
the Disney Capcom 2 pack.
Those are good
It's pretty
games.
cool, man. They are good games. They're real fun, and but like feel like like Lion King more in particular. Like there's some direction in that that could be a lot clearer. Like a lot of the
It's rough.
like
Games.
the end levels especially are like, oh, you have all these, like the toss mechanic where you're supposed to toss Scar at the end.
Yeah, I think I might have used codes to get that
Yeah.
far. To be
Oh,
honest,
definitely did as a
I'm not
kid.
gonna sit here and lie and say that I used to rent games. I never owned that game. I would
Yep.
like play a little bit and be like, all right, what's the codes? Figure.
No, Lion King was actually one that I owned as a kid. I remember having that game, and I think I actually still have my original Lion King copy because my brother took all of our Super Nintendo games.
Yeah.
And then I recently asked him, I was like, hey, I'm beefing up Super Nintendo collection again. Got anything you want to give away? And he was like, oh, yeah, sure. Here you go. Give me like Lion King and like Magical Quest with Mickey Mouse.
I mean,
And what else did he give me?
oh, you're looking at them right now.
Yeah, there was another one. Oh, yeah, I think I got rid of some of the other ones. He had like, what was it, Out of This World or whatever that like space adventure. It's kind of like like what's that FMV game? Jesus.
Dead,
Uh,
dead air.
yep. Um, holy shit. Just drawing a total blank.
You come back to it. You think of it. Uh,
Yeah. Either
Jinjo,
way.
Jinjo, it's going well, and we're doing this new podcast thing, trying it out. Me and my buddy Mike here. Where can people find you on the internet if they want to find you?
Find me on the internet?
Yeah.
You don't find me on the internet. I
Well,
find you. No.
but you do have a
Uh,
YouTube channel that you're plugging these days, right?
I do
Right.
actually. So I have like some very rare and completely infrequent solo streams at Killer Metal Mike at Twitch,
That's killer.
or
Isn't that
you
killer underscore metal underscore Mike?
well, of course,
Oh,
if you don't put spaces, people can't read your name. Obviously,
I'm just making
everyone
sure
knows that.
that you're giving out the right information.
Let's see, Sunshine Lady knows what's up. You need spaces, otherwise people don't get it.
Oh, she's got him. Sunshine underscore underscore lady underscore.
See,
Yeah, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know what that pop that baby maker is.
Popped up. Pop subject.
Yeah, but we also got a YouTube that me and my kid started called Warp in Time, where we go
I
back and look at movies and TV shows and video games and see how it stands up between my generation, his generation.
I love it.
Yeah,
I think it's a great idea. Everybody
yeah,
should go check out Mike's YouTube channel. A Warp in Time. Is that you just search for A Warp in Time on YouTube?
yep, yep. A Warp in
You
Time.
got two videos up right now, right? The channel intro, and then you guys did a review of a new
We
old game.
right. We did a NES release in 2015 called Haunted Halloween '85. Super cool.
Is Oh, by the way, since there's not 1,000 viewers in here yet, Pop,
Yep.
how's the audio sound? Well, I see that you're peaking in the red, so if he tells me,
Oh my. Am I getting a little too excited over here?
I mean, I guess I'm sitting pretty far away.
Right. I
You're
sit
like,
on top of mine.
yeah.
I like to get in real close, get that A in.
Did you post the Mike's channel?
Oh
Oh
no.
yeah, that's the link.
Oh no. They found it already. The internet's a powerful place.
Hey man, the intro got 100 views in 3 weeks. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I guess that's not bad.
What's the first? You got 2 videos on the channel. 12 subscribers already. I don't think I have any subscribers.
You know what's funny is like me and my kids started this one, and within I think it was the first week or the first 10 days, we got like the 10 or 12 subscribers or whatever. It really like boomed right at first because I think he went to school and promoted the hell out of it to all his friends and stuff.
That's
So
awesome.
like within 10 days, this dude's got like 12 subscribers. I'm looking at it as he's doing all of this. So
Yeah,
they're his 12 subscribers.
right
Like
on.
my YouTube channel that I've had since YouTube was a thing, like I have 3 subscribers and I have a bunch of videos that I actually put on my own thing. Like,
Um,
uh,
Pop and I both subscribed.
oh, dope.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get my platinum play button from PewDiePie.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I want it to
Any
be.
day
I
now.
want him to actually send it. I
Yep.
want his.
Yeah. He's gonna give me his. And he has to cross the name out himself.
So, anyway,
Yeah.
besides Overwatch, what have you been playing lately?
Besides Overwatch, a bunch of SNES. And I'm also wrapping up Link's Awakening. I went back and played the original Game Boy one when everybody else got their remake for the Switch.
Right.
So I went back. I'm almost done with that. I have 2 more dungeons left to go.
So, have you played that game before?
I have, but not completed it before. So I've played, I think, I want to say like the first maybe 1 or 2 dungeons in that. Probably just the first one, now that I'm thinking about it.
Hey,
Because I
tuner.
believe I had the DX version for Game Boy Color when I had my Game Boy Color when I was young.
And I'm right that you have no exposure with the new one.
No,
Pop's about to
just
tell you how Link's
just what I've
Awakening
seen.
is his right there, his second favorite or his favorite 2D Zelda game. Sorry,
Yep.
his favorite 2D Zelda game. So I actually believe this or not. I don't know if I told you about this. I finished Link's Awakening on the Switch.
You did. Nice.
I don't know if you heard what I said. I finished a game. I beat a video game.
And a Zelda game at that. My God. Look at you.
Dude, I was happy about that.
Your year's done, my friend. Hang it up.
Dude, I'm really happy that I finished that game.
Yeah.
Next up, Cuphead. Tuner, you're not wrong. I am going to beat that game. I don't care if it takes me 5 months. And then
That is a great game, too.
You know what? I feel like you could maybe envy me just a little bit in the sense that I still have to go back and finish God of War, Horizon, that game, the graffiti game. What is it? Concrete Genie,
Mm-hmm.
Outer Worlds. I have all these games in my backlog that are really good that I haven't finished, and I'm like, I still gotta play these and experience them for the first time. Like, you know what I would give to experience The Last of Us for the first time again? Portal. You can't play Portal for the first time ever again.
Oh, I know. I remember playing that for the first time.
It's so good. Do you want a Portal 3? I mean, who doesn't? But what do you think that they will ever do that? It's Valve. Valve's got to.
They can't count that high.
What, the amount of money that it will generate?
Oh, no. They can work in billions.
Oh, you're saying that Valve can't count to 3.
Right.
They can't ever make a third version of any game.
I would also enjoy a Left 4 Dead 3.
There isn't one of those.
No.
And that's Valve.
Yes.
So people are waiting for Half-Life 3.
Portal 3.
Left 4 Dead 3.
Yeah.
Portal 3. And what's the other one? Wasn't there...
Portal, Half-Life, Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, what was that arena first-person shooter, the real cartoony style?
Oh, Team Fortress.
Team Fortress
3. Yep.
There's no third one of that? And that's Valve, right?
Yep.
Do you think that they're planning on doing something crazy, like release all those games in one collection and sell it for like $200?
I mean, that would be... No. No. And drop them all together for one low price? No way. Drop them all at once and drop them all at full or collector's prices? Then sure. Yeah. Why not? $60 for a fully digital game from the Steam, add it to your Steam library. That sounds like something Steam would do.
Saying that they won't do it because they make too much money with Steam. That's true.
Well,
God of War is The Last of Us of this generation. You got to finish that. I know. I'm embarrassed that I haven't.
Which one's first?
What?
Which one's in your immediate spotlight that you got to finish?
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, technically, it should be Outer Worlds, but it's Cuphead.
Right.
I'm making it Cuphead. I feel like if you can beat that game like that, this guy Tuner in the chat, he beat it in an hour.
Right.
So
speedrun the shit out of it.
Yeah, I've been playing for like 7 hours over 5 days or some shit, and like I just swear a lot.
Yep. That sounds like how I play them.
Do you have Cuphead?
I do.
Cuphead's technically a thing that we could play with that new stream.
Yeah, that was
Steam
exciting
thing.
news.
Yeah. So Jinjo says God of War, easy claps, hated boys attitude, definitely. Featuring, fucking muff and buttery waff? Oh, that's, those are enemies in Cuphead.
Oh.
Yeah, the fucking muffin. I hated the muffin. I was fighting some Candyland broad,
Yep.
and there was a muffin that was an asshole, and the buttery waffle, which wasn't too bad, but yeah, I like the buttery waffle. I just hate that fucking muffin. I'm curious, did Mike play God of War? The last God of War Mike played, I'm willing to wager it was on like a PSP.
Nope, it wasn't actually.
So it was God of War 2?
Yep, 2 for the PS2.
Great game.
It was
I
fantastic.
gotta be honest. I was a little disappointed when they announced that the new God of War was gonna be a third person, over the shoulder. I mean, it's a great game. Plays great. So fun. But God of War to me, what made it special was those fixed camera. Like I wish they found a way to like do that.
Gives it, yeah, it gives it that big sense of scale.
It makes this action hack and slash game almost like a puzzle game, because once these big bosses are doing all their patterns and stuff. But I mean, now you got AI, so the thing just fights you
Right.
like you're fighting. But Mike, I'm gonna say Mike didn't play New God of War,
No, I did not play New God of War.
but you do have a PS4,
I do, and I do like God of War.
and you don't need to be online to play.
No, I don't. So it's definitely a possibility.
Oh, now he wants to come in.
Put me in, coach.
All right, so let me
Here we go.
stream will be right back, and you can still hear us.
Oh, fantastic.
So let me get.
Oh boy, let's bring on our.
You want he wants audio or video too.
Do we have a on the phone box? On the phone, we have. He can do both. I'm your wizard.
No, I don't know that this is gonna work. No.
That was weird.
Oh, did I disappear for a second?
Yeah.
Jinjo says, "You guys ever play any horror games?" Mike likes horror games. Yeah, talk about horror games while I figure this out.
I do enjoy a good horror game indeed. So that Haunted Halloween 85 that we played is like a fun, like horror themed, not necessarily like scary horror games like now horror games or horror games, but it's you fight against zombies and evil jack-o'-lanterns and scarecrows and werewolves and shit, so it's that's kind of cool. But like actual horror games, like huge fan of the Resident Evil series. Like I think I've bought Resident Evil 1 for just about every platform it's ever been released for. Still love it. I did play the remake of 2. I have Oh, there he is.
I think we did it.
Hey.
Oh shit.
Hey.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Let's get back in here.
Yeah, so I played the 2 remake and I made it to the point, so I played as holy shit, blanking.
Leon?
Claire?
Yeah.
Claire. Yeah. So I played as Claire and made it to the point where you take the little girl into the like medical facility, like with the train and stuff,
Hmm.
and you put her in the bed and you say, "Okay, I'm gonna go find some shit to make you better." And then I turned the game off and I never came back for her. So I assume she's dead by now.
What's up, Pop?
Yo, what's going on, guys?
That was a pretty weak intro. Here, let me play some music. Let me play some music for Pop being here.
All right. What about Amnesia?
I've never
I never
heard of
played
Amnesia.
I've heard of Amnesia, but I've never played Amnesia.
It's like a, I don't know, like a different type of horror.
I can't remember what
So it's
Amnesia
all, like,
is.
environmental. Like there's not
Right.
there's not a lot of like, I don't know, it's different. I wasn't a fan.
What was the one with the sanity meter?
That's
What was that?
Amnesia.
That is Amnesia.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
It's like kind of like, that's like the part I don't like about it, because like there's parts in that game where like your sanity meter like fills up.
All right, I'm turning
and
the music off.
screen, it's like an effect to like show that you're going crazy in game, but the
Right.
screen, everything around you gets like super blurry, and it's like the worst game design ever because it just makes you sick. Like, it just everything turns blurry, and it's like, oh, this is terrible. I can't do it.
Nice.
I love that this is happening right now. This
Yeah.
is great. Dude, you got the pink light illuminating your whole space? That's
Yeah,
dope.
That's- Yeah, that is awesome.
I'm digging that.
Thank
All right, so you said you had something you wanted to say about what?
God of War.
Oh,
yeah,
God of War,
so,
right.
Like, I'm not gonna spoil it because how far did you how much did you play of it?
I mean, so here's what happened. I started playing, I got to the, so spoilers, if you haven't played any of God of War and you don't want any spoilers, stop listening for like, I don't know. I'll tap on my head when I'm done talking about it.
Yeah, for sure.
But, yeah, remind me. I got to that, Mike, do you care about spoilers?
No.
I know
I've
you
already
don't.
heard most of it already.
Well, I got to the hut where the dude was, like the crazy motherfucker with all the tattoos in the very beginning of the game. Kicked his ass, even though like that was pretty brutal to start a game, fighting that dude. And then as soon as I started being able to like go places and ride around in the boat and go to like that chick who she like opens up some door for you, like I do all I go do all that shit, and then I started realizing like, oh, there's a lot of side quest stuff in this general area that I can do, and I started doing that, and that's what started burning me out a little bit. So I was like, I'm gonna just go back to the story, and like just drifted off and stopped playing, and I don't know what I started playing. Oh, you know what it was? We started looking for this place, and then really just trying to find a new house to get.
So, no, that's totally understandable.
Yeah, I got everything set back up, and the first thing I played was Uncharted 4. It really was.
Classic.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So like kind of based off what you said there, I'd probably say you played like 10% of the game.
Yeah.
Like
you're not wrong.
There's like that part that you get to where you're like, oh, it kind of opens up and I can do side stuff. That's like almost like the end of the tutorial for the game. That's where like the game kind of starts. And it's so good. And like the problems you said, like you're like God of War to me is like a
fixed
hack and slash. Camera.
Yeah.
So
I mean that's just what it always was.
Without spoiling, like
oh yeah, okay.
That like they do that. Like the game does that in such a good, like rewarding way that it's like it's the best version of that game.
Now
like, that game that you're describing.
Yeah.
In this game, there's like the best version of that.
So I got to get through it because I just really didn't scratch the surface. But see, that's the other thing that kind of I remember now. It bummed me out. I was playing that game and then I was talking to somebody. Oh, I was talking to a guy I used to work with. I won't say his name, but you used to work with him too for a brief moment, Mike. Yeah.
Okay.
And not the older one, the younger one.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, "Oh, have you been playing God of War?" And I go, "Yeah, man, I got it. I love it. I've been digging it." This is when I still work there. And he's like, "Oh yeah." He's like, he starts talking to me about it. I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa." I was like, don't do any spoilers." I was like, I'm paying attention to the story. Don't spoil anything for me." He's like, no, 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 I'm not gonna spoil anything. And so we're talking more about it, and he goes,
Oh no.
he's like, it's so awesome when you get his blades back. You get his blades back from the old games, and I'm like,
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to say
I
it
was like,
too.
bro, that's a fucking
That's
spoiler.
like a huge moment in the game.
That's what I said to him. I was like, that is a spoiler. Like,
Yeah, that's a big,
how is
that's
that?
a big spoiler.
Just because it's a mechanic doesn't mean it's not part of the story, you motherfucker. I was so
But like, okay, so
I
since
was
you
so
know, like,
mad.
once you get those, the game essentially turns into like what you just. It's like the best version of like
All
a
right.
hack and slash. Like, it's so good.
Okay.
Like
Maybe I'll
God
put
of War,
that back in tomorrow.
dude, God of War is like I've since Last of Us, I haven't like story wise, I haven't got like a game that's like hit that where it's like dude, the story is like so good and I think the gameplay matches. Like God of War to me is like
Oh shit. What's up,
almost like
Dre?
the natural progression
Yeah.
of The Last of Us. Like it's like a PS4 6, 7 years later Last of Us. Like it's so good. The
Yeah.
story is so good. That's why I asked if Mike played it because like it kind of plays on the relationship of like a father and a son.
Right.
And so like
Yeah.
I feel like it would be like super interesting to get your take on it just because you have a kid so like you kind of, you know,
Right. Yeah.
uh,
I mean, like I said, I like God of War, and I would totally be down to give that one a try. Just have
yeah.
to actually sit down and do it.
Yeah, it's really in my opinion it's really good. You have to like it's definitely like an investment. Like I think I played on my mistake was you can't switch difficulties like during the game. If you switch you have to restart and I picked the hardest difficulty to start. And so that was rough. So it took me like I think I beat it in like 67 hours of playtime. But like if you played on a lower difficulty, like I think you'd probably get like a 40-hour game.
Right.
So it's a long game, but it's really good.
Yeah, you know what? That's something I've been thinking I'm going to start doing a little bit more these days cuz I'm always like, "Oh, I'm going to start on medium. I'm going to start everything on normal."
Yeah.
Right? And it'll be too hard, and it's something inside me is like too proud, I guess, to lower the difficulty. Like even though like almost every game lets you change the difficulty, you could like that new Star
Yeah.
Wars game says you could
You can
change
it
the
mid fight.
mid fight.
Mid fight.
You could change the
Unreal.
difficulty.
It's
So
crazy.
I'm just gonna start doing that because if I can make it through the game and enjoy it for what it's like offering me, and I like it,
Yeah.
then that's incentive to go back and up the difficulty and play it again.
Right.
I
'Cause-
also think like the way that God of War handles the difficulty is super interesting. I've never played a game that kind of like played like it, where like you typically in games like the harder the difficulty is, the more like defensive you have to play
Right.
because it's like the enemies will do more damage, they'll kill you, it's harder to hit them. But like in God of War, the way you have to like play on the hardest difficulty is like you basically have to play Kratos' character, so like you have to be super aggressive. If you're not constantly attacking enemies, they
Yeah.
like regen health and they get stronger. So it's like you have to keep like you have to play so aggressive. That's just like a weird take on like a harder difficulty that like I haven't seen in any other games, and it makes the like combat super interesting.
You
that way.
still
It's
have
like,
control over Atreus, right? Or Atreus? What do you say? Atreus or
yeah,
Atreus?
Atreus, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you still have control over him, and actually, I feel like you end up having to use him way more on the harder difficulty because eventually I got to a point where I got stuck.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I don't know, I kind of like took a few days break, and I ended
Mhm.
up going back and like restarting another playthrough on like a lower difficulty,
Okay.
and then that's when I like saw the differences of like, yeah, like on the lower difficulties you really don't have to use Atreus that much. On the harder difficulties, like you have to use him to get through battles. Um, and you like have to upgrade him. So you have to like
Right.
decide on whether you want to upgrade your powers or his. Whereas like in the lower difficulties, you really don't have to. Seems like you don't have to like worry about that too much. You can kind of just pick one, and it doesn't really matter. But yeah, like that was like my favorite game of last year. I highly recommend it. I think.
Would you say that was your game of the year for last year?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And last year, I feel like there was a lot of really good games. Spider-Man was really good. God of War was really good. You had like Celeste that I thought was like fantastic for like an indie game.
Right.
I'm trying to think. There was a big Red Dead Redemption 2. People liked or hated. I don't know. I thought it was
well, I mean,
disappointing.
what the fuck? You thought it was disappointing?
Yeah.
Hold on. Well, we can get into that. I didn't play that one either because so many games. Get right into that in a second.
My point like was that with all those games coming out, God of War like stand like way above those. Like it was that's like if I could get like if I was like rating games, that would be like a 10. Like
10.
I
can't get better.
Like, I couldn't imagine that game getting any better. Like I'm super happy they didn't do DLC for it. There's no microtransactions. It's like the perfect like
there's no DLC. So you can't
there's no DLC, but there's a really good like once you beat the game,
you can get like costumes
really
and
good,
shit.
Like post game content in the game that they like give to you.
Like New Game Plus.
They did add New Game Plus later. I didn't play it because it wasn't in when they like initially had the game come out. But no, there's just like stuff that you can't do until you beat the story. But it's like super rewarding to go back and do it. Like it gives you an incentive to like keep playing the game once you beat the story. I don't know. It's like I can't recommend it enough. It's so good.
All right, that's all I need to hear. I'm gonna go back and do it. Mike's gonna play it. He's gonna find the time. He's gonna put Overwatch down for a second.
I would be super interested to see like what Mike thinks, especially because like the story definitely seems like I feel like you can replace that relationship with lots of other things. You can go, okay, this is a father-son relationship, but could very easily be a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, son-mother relationship, whatever. You can replace those with a lot of things, but it'd be super interesting to see how you think of the game, Mike, because of that. Like the story is kind of built around a father-son relationship, and you having a kid, like that'd be, I don't know. I think it would just be interesting to hear like your experience with the game.
Dad Simulator.
After that recommendation.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so for the sake of being able to do like maybe segments or like an easier transition later on. First of all, Dre, thanks for hosting. That's cool.
Dre's in here.
Yeah, Dre Razor. Awesome. Yeah. Jinjo is talking about something. Water monsters. Is that still Amnesia?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
And then the Valkyries are God of War.
Valkyries God of War. Yeah, that's like the post game.
But so if you're just joining the chat now, we're doing a little impromptu podcasting because Mike and I were working on it all night. And by working on it, Mike was watching weird ass YouTube videos, and I was setting up this overlay. It's basically sponsored by Pop That Baby Maker, who's to my that way, and then Killer Metal Mike over at the end. You guys, you still don't say your real name on the internet, Pop?
Not really, no.
All right, we'll just keep it that way.
I don't care, I guess. Like, sometimes whenever, like, I donate to people, they'll call me by my real name.
Oh, yeah.
It's annoying. I don't like when they do it, but...
I mean, we all have a real name.
Yeah.
You should just legally change yours to Pop That Baby.
That would.
That'd be fucking sick.
But this is, I'm digging how this is going. I'm glad you joined the conversation.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I wanted to bring up was that you had a really interesting idea for a podcasting topic. So, I think it might be interesting to get into that. We might have to consult the almighty Google. But Pop suggested that since we're going to be approaching 2020 to go over the decade in gaming, like notable moments from the decade.
Oh, man.
So, starting... obviously in 2000 what just happened? Oh, you just pulled up your computer?
Yeah, my bad.
No, both of you guys got really bright. Um, but yeah, from 2010 to 2019, is that what we're doing? Because
Yeah.
we don't know what games of 2020 are gonna be yet.
It is super interesting. Like when I threw that topic out at you,
Yeah.
I just out of curiosity kind of went back for myself and was like, what games came out in 2010? And it was just weird to go back and think, oh, that was like Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, like that. I don't. For some reason, that just seems like so long ago. Uh, that I don't know. I had in my head that like 2010 was like past that. Um, but yeah, it's definitely interesting to go back and look at like some of the stuff that's come out the last 10 years.
So what did you guys find though? Because I've got an article from Polygon that pretty much says what we're saying. It's the 100 best games of 2010 to 2019.
Yeah, so that list is terrible. I looked at the list; it's freaking awful.
You don't like
I
that
don't know.
list?
I think it's terrible. Yeah, like there's some stuff that I agree on that. Like, I don't know. Just for example, like I'm the biggest Fortnite fan you'll ever find. I fucking love that game, but they have it in top 10, and it's like I feel like it's a little too soon to put that game like top 10 of the last
Yeah,
decade.
well, the next game on their
Like-
list is that's top 10 of they're saying the 100 best games. So would they do 10 per year?
I don't like it. Definitely, I don't know. I'm not sure how they did it. I just remember looking at the list and being like, I don't agree with this at all.
Well, they've got the top 10 right here. And I've never even heard of Kentucky Route Zero. What the fuck is that?
What?
I heard that was a game that I've never played it before. I think it's like one of those like kind of like Walking Dead type games where it's like you make decisions and it affects the story. I think it's like something like that, something similar to that, but I've never played it before.
Jinjo says tons of Pokemon and Call of Duty games. I mean,
Yeah.
if I'm thinking back to 2010, we're talking PS3, Xbox 360, right? When did those come out?
Like 2007, I think. 2006, 2007.
Right.
So November 11th for 2006 and November 17th, 2006 for the PS3
all right. So I
and
mean,
360
Where was
was-
that? What? Sorry, I forgot. What website did that list of the top 100 games?
it's Polygon. I could
Yeah.
share the link if you want, but I could share this link to.
I just feel like that's a good reference of like stuff that came out the last.
Yeah,
10
but
years.
this just links you to their top 10. So, but then from there you can, I put it in the chat. From there
All
you
right, I
can.
know this is super unprofessional, but I've been drinking a lot and I have to go pee. So I'll be back in
Chair-
like 30 seconds.
Chair stream.
chair stream. Look at that fucking chair.
Damn. Well,
There's
a
a Thomas the Tank Engine.
there's a train. The train is on my end.
You know, I can just see that lady from Star Wars getting run over in my mind. Classic. Man. So, the first Bayonetta came out in 2010.
Okay, you know what? We might as well make a list, right? Make our own list.
I mean, I think you could at least go through and see what's noteworthy. I mean, even 2010 is it's a lot of damn games. A lot.
All right.
Oh, and then they break it down for you. So, games of 2010 that scored at least 88% on Metacritic or higher.
Oh.
And there's still a list of like, gotta be at least 50 games here.
All right, so what?
Yeah.
Just you start throwing them out because you said Bayonetta,
Yep.
the original.
So, The original Bayonetta, yeah. But the number one game of 2010 with a Metacritic score of 97 is Super Mario Galaxy 2.
Super Mario Galaxy 2. It's good.
Came out
Came
what
out.
what year?
May 23rd of 2010.
That's a fantastic game.
It is. Also, you got Mass Effect 2 that year.
Mass Effect 2.
I'm not gonna make the list. Let's just talk about the games because
Yeah.
what are we gonna do with the list after? It's not gonna
Yeah.
be like
See, I wasn't even thinking. I feel like it's too hard to narrow down a list because it's just like how do you compare something like how do you compare Mario Galaxy 2 to like Mass Effect? They're two completely different games. It's kind of hard
Right.
to like.
well, yeah.
You
I
know.
mean, all these lists are all subjective, and my
Yeah.
list and your list aren't gonna be the same as anybody else's list. But I think we can to put Minecraft at the top of the list on Polygon's site makes sense because it's sold more than Tetris at this point.
Yeah.
Right.
And to be fair, like I would agree. Like Minecraft is like a really good game.
But
Like
that-
I
but
just
see-
picked it up maybe like 6 months ago again. Like I played it when I was in college because it was like the only thing that would run on my shitty laptop, and I had a lot of fun. And then it's been like 6 years or whatever, however long it's been, and it's like picked it up like 6 months ago because my friend bought a server, and it's like it's really good, and they're still updating it, and it's a solid game.
Nice.
Pop, let me ask you this: and Mike, same question, but so what is your number one game of the decade, and is it God of War?
No,
It's not for you. Yours is
Not for me.
Overwatch. Yours is Overwatch,
it's got to be.
right?
I mean,
That's a tough one.
Mine is The Last of Us.
Yeah,
That
I
one's
feel like
easy
my-
for me because it came out in this decade, and it's also the best game ever. So. No, I know. You might say God of War is the best game.
Well, there's even a couple other ones in there. Like Breath of the Wild is also really good.
I love that game. That game belongs
really
on that
good.
list. I mean, it's
Also,
so
like-
easy to think of the recent games that it's hard to figure out like
Yeah.
what came out in 2010 and what came out in 2009 and earlier, you know?
Well,
Right.
that's what's gonna go back. Like I think same year as Last of Us, or maybe a year before. But like Skyrim, it's like that's like one of my favorite games of all time. Like I put so many hours into playing Skyrim. Like I don't know. I feel like that's got to be up there for me as well.
So, would you guys include Life is Strange?
on our top games.
Jinjo, you say your top game of all time is Banjo-Kazooie for Nintendo 64, but what's your top game of the decade? That's the question now. Favorite Call of Duty game from 2010 to 2019? I feel like when I go pick up Modern Warfare eventually, I think that one will be it because I actually want to play the story, and I heard that it's great.
I haven't. I haven't played the story yet though. I heard it's really good though.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for like I've been so detached from that franchise for so long that it's gonna be fun to play again, and I'm excited about that because Call of Duty was always fun.
I was actually considering picking that one up the other day, but the only problem is that I picked up Black Ops 4 when it came out,
No.
and like feel like that thing burnt me so bad that I really can't convince myself to spend the money to get Modern Warfare now. Because now I feel like I'm buying into the every year Call of Duty thing.
And that's
Yeah, see, that's like me too. Like I'm like the typical like Call of Duty comes out and I'm like, this was super disappointing. I'm never buying a Call of Duty game again.
Yeah.
Right.
And then October rolls around, and I was like,
well, I said that the first time I played Battlefield
this one kinda
3.
looks good. Like
Mhm.
maybe I'll buy this one. And so of course
Yep.
I bought
Gotta-
this year's one. I've been
gotta get
having
'em
fun though. The multiplayer is fun for
But I'm telling you,
Modern
that
Warfare.
that's not even a joke that I'm making. Like I vowed to never play Call of Duty again the first time I played Battlefield 3. It just blew my mind. I was like, this is what the experience should be. And then Battlefield
Yeah.
4 doubled down on that. And then they came out with Hardline, and I threw up in my soup. It was disgusting. What the fuck were they talking? That should have been out. You know how like Call of Duty has zombies mode?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hardline should have been like a mode in Battlefield 5.
Yeah.
right? They should have just taken their time and released both of those together. Like, oh yeah, you could play this crazy war game, or Cops and Robbers, dumbasses. Because then like Rainbow Six Siege, that belongs on this list because that game did what Hardline wished it could have done on its fucking best day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of games even of recent times that I can say I have a wealth of information about. Like, here we go. Fire Emblem is on this list of Polygon's list, and I don't know anything about Fire Emblem. I just know that there's too many of their characters in Super Smash Brothers, which also belongs on this list.
Smash Brothers.
I can't get behind Smash Brothers.
Not
No.
any version of it. Mike and I
It's the
had
fan base.
had
The fan base is like the worst.
yeah, but fuck
It's
the fan
so-
base. When you play
I
that
can't
game with
though,
your own friends, like it's just hilarious. Like when you
I don't know.
no, you don't play with people who go, oh, shut the items off and let's like really fight. Like no, because you're just gonna kick my ass. When there's all kind of weird shit happening and like
Yeah. All the wacky zaniness
that
of it all.
shit's fun as hell. Especially when you
That's
play
what
with
it's
people
supposed
who
to be.
suck as bad as you do. Like that game's fun.
I kind of like Smash Bros. Kind of reminds me of like it's like I don't know, like I'm a fan of football, and it's like Smash Bros. Kind of like the Patriots, where it's like you get everything you want. Like the Smash Bros. This new game, it's like every character in the existing fucking world is in the game. We're gonna give you new characters. We're gonna give you all the music, all the levels. They get everything they want, and they still complain and like shit talk to you. I just can't. I can't do it. Like the fan base literally ruins the game for me.
I hear you, but
I
like
refuse to buy it
but-
because of the
okay.
people that like that game. I just can't do it. Like,
all right, hey man, to each their own. I had some of the best times of my life playing that game on 3DS with me and Mike when we were supposed to be working and like just
So many
smash.
hours.
Oh man.
Yep.
And you want to know one of the biggest missteps? This is, you know how you ever see these lists online of like, oh, this is Sega's worst mistakes ever, or you know what I mean, like those types of videos. When Nintendo said, oh, you have a Wii U and Super Smash Brothers, but you've only got 3 controllers, well, you can use your 3DS as a 4th controller. And I'm like, what? That's dope. Finally, Nintendo does something cool.
I didn't
Then-
even know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, well, guess what? When you go to do it, you link up your 3DS with your Wii U, and it links right up, and it says, in order to use this 3DS as a controller for Super Smash Brothers, you have to have a copy of Super Smash Brothers for 3DS as well, which luckily I did when we were trying to do that, but I'm like, you grimy fucking
Yep.
bastards. You're telling me
No
that
way.
if I want to use this game as a controller, I have to buy this console's version of that game to do it?
Well, you need the controller pack, obviously.
But who in that situation is ever gonna like? I know it's a far-fetched situation where if you're gonna have Smash on the Wii U and you also own a 3DS, you're probably gonna have Smash for that too. But
I don't know. At the same time, do you really want to buy 2 versions of the same game?
yeah,
2
because
copies
when
of the
I was
same
at
game?
home, I didn't want to play on the 3DS. But I did want to be able to play
Right.
while I was out and about.
Right.
Well,
But
Is it-
but
when-
but
when
hold on,
the-
but hold on. When are you going to be at the store and like, oh, I need this. I need one more controller. Let me buy the $200 console and the fucking $50 game to go along with it.
Right.
You assholes! Nintendo should be
Right.
ashamed of themselves for that. That's poor business practice. You should just make that shit work. You should actually be able to play that game on both consoles by buying it once,
Yeah.
like Sony
And-
tried to do.
And they did at least roll the DLC together. So, like, you could get the DLC for that, and you
Oh.
had the option of getting reduced price for the Wii U and 3DS bundles.
Oh, my heroes.
I know. So you get those skins at a 5% discount.
So, but when did Melee come out? Oh, that was a long time
that was a
ago.
long time ago.
Long time ago.
2001.
The only Smash Bros. In that in the
That was a
last
really
10
good
years
gaming
is
year too,
the Wii U one and this one.
and Ultimate. Yeah.
This one.
And the 3DS one.
Yeah. I guess I
Smash 4.
consider them the same as the Wii U one.
Smash
Yeah, I
4,
guess it's
right.
different.
Oh, wow.
I'm just kind of
Sunshine Lady's still in here.
the like the top games of each year, just to like give myself an idea of what came out.
Well, all right. So 2010, just a quick, like super quick rundown. According to this, above 88% or more, you get Super Mario Galaxy 2, Mass Effect 2, Red Dead Redemption, StarCraft 2 Wings of Liberty, Rock Band 3, Pac-Man Championship Edition, God of War 3, Xenoblade Chronicles, Street Fighter 4, Halo Reach, World of Warcraft Cataclysm, Super Street Fighter 4, MLB 10 The Show, Limbo, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, Super Meat Boy, Cave Story, Civilization 5, Plants vs. Zombies, Borderlands Game of the Year Edition, NHL
Wait,
2011.
this is for 1 year or the whole decade?
No, this is 1 year. This is all 2010.
Don't even name those shitty games, and I'll tell you what.
These are all above 88%. So shitty
yeah, okay,
is a B plus at worst.
okay, but MLB The Show, like,
Right.
on the list that we're making here, like, have either of you played that?
I have not. No.
That shit what didn't stand out. You know what stands out to me, and it's gonna be on everybody's list, and it's not on mine, is The Witcher 3. I'm just talking about still this decade and kind of recently, but everybody loved it so much. I hate that game.
I hated it. I couldn't get into it.
Thank you.
To me, it was like I'd rather like playing that. I was like, oh, you know what this reminds me of? Skyrim. I'd rather just go play Skyrim.
Yeah, and then you go and play Skyrim for a little while, and you're like, okay, wait a minute. I've done this before. The graphics suck. Like,
I don't know. I never hit that point with Skyrim.
Let's go play Breath of the Wild.
Man,
Breath
I
of
can't
the
tell you
Wild.
how many times I woke up on that cart in Skyrim.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet.
Starting over.
Yeah. That was always my problem with this one, is what you were saying with the other game before, was that they just ask you to go find something. And as soon as they ask me to go find something and they open it up to me, I get lost and then it's over.
What? Like The Witcher you're talking about? That game sucks.
Yeah. Like,
for that reason.
You know, I can't tell you how many times I started Skyrim over again, and they're like, okay, go find this one town. It's right over the mountain. And you're like, okay, great.
You know what the biggest problem for me with The Witcher is that I really enjoyed the set and setting of that game. And like what they were trying to, the story they wanted so desperately to tell. And they didn't pair it with fun gameplay. I feel like the fighting was so cumbersome, and like you have two swords for some reason. Like you have to use the silver sword against certain types of enemies, and everything. Like, you know, it's mainly a PC game, so it's another one of those games that's plagued by like the on-screen text. Is you need a fucking set of binoculars to see it if you're sitting on your couch.
Yep.
Ugh, fuck that game. It'll never come out of the case again. I tried so many times with that dumbass game. I should just sell it to somebody who would maybe get some enjoyment out of it.
I also feel like it's like what Mike said about whenever I get like open world games, the second it lets me the second the world opens up and lets me do things, I want to like go do everything.
Yep.
And I feel like The Witcher 3, like it's like a strength in the fact that like it seems like there's endless side shit to do in that game.
So we're talking about like top games of the decade, right? But to expand on that point for a second, like what about games that don't make you feel that way, like a Grand Theft Auto 5 or something, right? You get dropped into this open world. You can literally go anywhere from the beginning of the game. I felt compelled to flesh out those stories.
Yeah, definitely. Right. I don't know. I feel like even though, like, I don't know, it's like, I agree with you, but also it's kind of a weird comparison because, like, I feel like Grand Theft Auto 5, like, there's a ton of side shit to do in that game, but also like I feel like the story is
Abundant.
what drives
Okay.
the side stuff to do. Like
Yeah.
you do the story, unlock side stuff, and then you do that side stuff, and then you do more of the story to unlock more side stuff.
Is
I
that
feel like The Witcher 3 it's just like the second the game opens up, it's like side quest, side quest, side quest, side quest, side quest, side quest. And I'm like, oh my god, like dude, like, and you beat one side quest and it gives you 3 more, and it's like I can't, like
Totally.
it's overwhelming from the very beginning to the point where it's like like I get burnt out super quick.
Totally. Yes.
Do you think that the Grand Theft Auto thing though has become like conditioning to how those games work?
No, I think they're genuinely good games. I think they're always good games. Like people said that 4 suffered from, I don't know, pacing or something.
I just didn't like the driving in 4. That was my biggest
Yeah,
issue.
it was a little like floaty or whatever, but I love that game. I didn't like the motion blur in any of the
Yeah,
games.
No.
And 4 was
But-
like they ramped it up.
they
It's-
definitely had a good story though with 4.
It did.
That like coming to the new land, this promised thing, and
Yeah.
show up to a shithole.
Yeah, great characters in 4. See, but every time I feel like they have that, and that's why, you go back to Vice City, and it's like fucking Ray Liotta and Samuel L. Jackson and Sean Penn, or not Sean Penn, Chris Penn, and all these people. Like, it didn't need to be, but it's just so fleshed out and real. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
in a comical, satirical kind of way. Whereas The Witcher is trying so hard to be so like, oh, Geralt of Rivia, like rip off fucking David Hayter. He sounds exactly like Solid Snake throughout that whole game. Tell me, and he like almost looks like him a little too. I was like, what is this fucking fake ass Renaissance snake?
But I guess, but also to that point though, to be fair, like that's his character. Like even in the other games, it's just The Witcher 3 was the only like one that hit like mainstream, right?
Mm.
So like I don't know if it's like a fair comparison to be like
It rips off.
they've like established that as his character for 2 games before that.
Yeah, I know, but
But yes, that definitely is a contributing factor.
Metal
to why I
Gear
don't
Solid,
like the game.
the first one, that must have came out around the same time. Maybe they've
No,
always
yeah,
been ripping
Metal
them
Gear
off.
Probably predates that.
Yeah, so maybe they've always been ripping them off.
Maybe, yeah.
Is it voiced by the same guy?
I have no idea, to be honest.
I thought for sure it
Yeah.
was when I heard it. I think I looked it up and it wasn't.
The story behind The Witcher is like super interesting. I think it was like books before, and like the dude, like I forgot the CD Projekt Red approached the guy that owned like the books to get the IP, and he was like, nobody's gonna play these fucking games, like, and he sold the like rights to the franchise for like super cheap. It was like something like $10,000. It's like ridiculously cheap, and then 3 blew up, and like the guy who like came up
probably
with all
jumped
those
off a
characters and
bridge.
stuff, he tried to sue them for like more money because he was like, wait, no, this wasn't supposed to get published, but they like he ended up losing because it was like, well, you sold the rights. But
What
yeah,
an
he just
asshole.
thought like he just thought it wouldn't get as popular as it ended up becoming.
So, just so you're clear, everything on the Wii U, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch, right, are all everything was in this decade.
Everything on those consoles,
Yeah.
and then the very tail end of like the 360, Wii, and
PS3.
Right.
PS3.
Right.
Yeah.
Your voice ripoff, by the way.
Yeah.
The Metal Gear Solid was in '98, and the first Witcher game was in 2007.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, if they were ripping them off, he's definitely ripping them off.
Yeah.
This Metal Gear Solid did it first. Simpsons did it.
Simpsons did it. Yeah.
So I'm all the way up to 2017 with games. it gets tough. Like if I had to to pick one game out of like group of games is kind of tough.
All right, so I mean, I'm gonna go down Polygon's list still, which is what I've been doing, and just call out notable ones, and we can maybe just say a couple things about each one. I mean, Super Mario Maker has to be said. That was my game of the year that year. I loved it. I love the second one, but here's the thing, and I heard I can't take credit for this, but I heard this on a different podcast. They were talking about how it was just one of the guests pointed out that Super Mario Maker just kept giving you stuff. Like week after week after week, there would be like you would either unlock something that you hadn't acquired yet, or they would be adding new like items to the game. And Mario Maker 2 did that once, and then they haven't supported it. And like that game should by rights still be huge.
Mm.
Yeah.
But people are just, I don't know. I mean,
Do you think it should be as huge as the first one though?
No.
Like the first one, it was the first of its kind. So
the
it
first
was like,
one broke ground, but see, that's another one of those things that was like a cash grab because they can't charge $60 for DLC, but they released the
Right.
same game with Hills.
right.
Now you can